there my little stars, and welcome to the Pokemon Violet Shiny Badge Quest, where I'll need to find the shiny before every badge. So by the end of this, I will have at least 18 shinies. I will be checking out outbreaks and using encounter sandwiches to help. Hey, when the odds are 1 in 4096, the more Pokemon I see, the better. Let's do this. I start the game and get through the opening moments until I get to Los Platos, after meeting Nimona, picking my starter, finding Miraidon and having a battle with Arvin. The next few hours I run along the Poké Path looking for my first shiny. My goal is for a Fletchling, since the flying type is great not only for Katie and her bug types, but also for Brashius and his grass types. More so when it evolves into Fletchinger and gains the fire typing. And, what do you know, my first shiny is Fletchling. I capture her and name her Turling and box Brigatito. Sorry little guy, it's been nice knowing you. With my first shiny, I finally head to school. Outside of Messagosa, Nimona wants to battle me again. I take her Quaxley down no issue, but her Palmy knocks Turling out with a Terra boosted Thundershock. Even with this loss, I keep my head high as I enter Messagosa. Reaching the school, I meet up with Arvin again, who asked me to help him fight Titan Pokemon who are hoarding Herba Mystica. I accept, which starts the Path of Legends storyline. I then get a call from a hacker only known as Cassiopeia, who asks me to deal with the Team Star bosses, but tells me I don't need to give an answer yet, and hangs up. Talking with Nimona, she suggests that I aim for the champion rank like her, which I accept, and she shows me where all the gyms are, starting the Victory Road storyline. I am then called to the director's office, where Cavell informs me that a friend of his wishes to talk with me. On his monitor we are greeted by Professor Turo, who explains that Miraidon was his Pokemon and asked me to take care of our new friend, who can't battle but I can ride on, so I don't have to walk everywhere. Awesome! Cassiopeia calls me back and puts the Team Star bases on my map to start the Starfall Street storyline. With all the storylines now unlocked and for me to pick from, I can set out on my adventure in the Paldea regions on the back of my rider. My first stop is Kotondo Gym with Katie and her bug Pokemon. But first I kick around a giant olive ball for the gym test. With that passed, it's time to face Katie. She starts off with a Nimble that goes down to 2 embers. Her Tarantula takes 3 embers, and her final Pokemon, a Bug Terra type Teddiursa, goes down after 2 Terra boosted pecks to win me the battle. Badge 1 obtained. My next stop is the Stony Cliff Titan, so I travel between Messagosa and Ardson looking for the next shiny. My goal here is either Makuhita or Skiddo. However, the shiny I find is a Shinx, which I call Leona. Not the best for the Titan, but will be useful later on for the water gym. After I capture her, I level her up to 16 so she can evolve into a Luxio, and after some more grinding, Turn evolves to a Fletchinger at level 20. I make my way to the giant claw that tries to climb out of my reach, but I follow him up and have Leona take him down with a charge boosted Spark and a normal Spark before he runs away. I give chase to find him eating the Herba Mystica. Arvin shows up to help me fight with his Shelder he's just captured. I use the same strat I used before, but this time it takes a 3rd Spark to take the Titan down. In the cave we find a sweet Herba Mystica that Arvin uses to make a sandwich with. Miraidon wants some of the sandwich, which unlocks the ability to dash. When I leave the cave, I notice my mini map has been a little funky. It was like this after the first battle with Claw, but I didn't notice till now. Thankfully, moving away so it's no longer on the map fixes the issue. But it was weird, and I wanted to share this little bug. Anyways, badge number 2 obtained. time for another shiny, and this time heading to the beach near Levincia to find a water type. I go for water because I think Mila is the first team star boss I should go after, but it's not. However, it wouldn't hurt to get a water type now. After about 20 minutes of knocking out slow pokes to make sure they aren't shiny, because it's an awful shiny, I finally find a shiny Magikarp at level 23, which is perfect, meaning it only needs to level up once to evolve. I call him Goldie, forgetting that he turns red when he evolves. But nonetheless, Goldie is now part of the team. With 3 shinies captured, it's time for my third badge at Artisan Gym. But first I need to collect Tennis and Floras, and because I'm doing this at night, all of them are asleep, so I don't have to battle any of them, nor do they run away. Very easy gym tests made even more easy. Will Brashes be as easy? Let's find out. Turin takes out his Petilil with a Flame Charge and an Acrobats. His Smoliv goes down to a single Acrobats, and his final Pokemon, the Grass Terror type Sudowoodo, survives a Terror boosted Acrobats thanks to Sturdy, but the second takes it out for the win. Badge 3 obtained. For the 4th member of my team, I wasn't even looking for. I was just going around Cortando fighting trainers to level up Goldie. But after beating a trainer, I turn away and find a shiny Mudbray. I capture her and call her Muddy. This is one of the quickest hunts in this quest. Let's make our way to badge number 4. Heading north to the Open Sky Titan, who is throwing boulders down into my path. I avoid them all to reach the giant Bombardier. Leona takes them down with 2 sparks before it runs away to its cave. Alvin shows up with his knuckle, but Leona takes the Titan down with 2 Terra boosted sparks. Inside the cave, the 2 of us find a bitter Herbert Mystica, which Alvin uses to make another sandwich with. I feed Miraidon mine so we can travel on water together. Miraidon gets greedy and tries to eat another sandwich, which freaks Alvin out. He explains the sandwich isn't for him, but for his ill Mabostiff, and hopes the Herbert Mysticas will heal his best boy when Persis and Pokécenters couldn't. Mabostiff finally opens his eyes, which makes Alvin happy. The herbs are working, which is awesome. Badge 4 obtained. Before I find my 5th shiny, Goldie evolves into a Gyarados after training him up. The hunt for a new shiny takes a few hours, and I start doing a ghastly outbreak, but since they've disappeared during the day, I head to a Swablu outbreak, and 20 minutes later I find and capture a shiny Swablu and name her Melody. Now it's time to take on our first Team Starbase. I take it on with Muddy, Turling and Melody, who makes quick work of the 30 Pokemon that need to be taken out, and topping up their hit points thanks to Director Gravel, who is dressed as a student and going by the name Clive for this operation. With all 30 knocked out, this shows out Giacomo, who battles me. Muddy takes out his Ponyard with a single double kick. I try to go for double kick again on the Starmobile, but it puts Muddy to sleep with a wicked talk for 2 turns. She wakes up and double kicks just over a quarter of its health, and since Muddy is sitting at a not so great 7 HP, I use the super potion to heal her up. The rest of the fight is using double kicks and healing Muddy up with super potions until the Starmobile goes down and we defeat Giacomo. Badge 5 obtained. For the next half an hour, I knock out Marils from an outbreak just outside Levincia, looking for a shiny. While I do this, I go into a battle with them when Muddy is close to leveling up so she can evolve. When it becomes night again, I make my way back to the Ghastly outbreak, and only 2 minutes later a shiny appears. I capture her and name her Lilith. I make my way back to Levincia, but before the gym, Nifona asks for a battle, which I accept. Muddy takes out her Rockruff with a double kick and her Palmy with a bulldozer, before I switch to Diona to take out her Quaxwell with a Spark to win the battle. Now can take on the gym test, which is to be a guest on Iono's stream and play hide and seek with Director Clavel. Let's see here. He's there, there, and there. Easy. Time for our battle. I start off with Rock Tomb against Iono's Watch Roll, knocking it out in one hit. Her belly bolt goes down to a Rock Tomb and a high horsepower. Her Luxio goes down to a single high horsepower, and her Miss Magius goes down to 3 Rock Tombs. We have bested the streamer, and Leona evolves into a Luxray after the battle. Badge 6 obtained. The next day there is a Tandemaus outbreak outside of Levincia, and I really want this shiny, not only because we don't have a Gen 9 shiny yet, but also because I need this Pokemon for my shiny living dex. However, this shiny took me 10 hours to find. I'm not sure if I ever missed a shiny because of how small Tandemaus is and how bad the shiny is, but after a day of shiny hunting and using so many normal encounter sandwiches, they finally show up and Roommates is part of the roster. Time to take on Team Star's 5 base. I've taken Goldie, Muddy and Lily to knock out the 30 Pokemon before Mela comes out to fight me. Goldie takes out her Torkoal with 3 waterfalls, finishing with the first and knocking out with the 2 Terra boosted ones. Her Starmobile goes down to 4 waterfalls, but only hitting Goldie once with Blazing Torque, much more easier than the first base. Badge 7 obtained. For my next hunt, I head to Tagtree Thicket, but before I get there, both Lilith and Roommates evolve. In the thicket, I make a firing counter sandwich and ride around for a Charcadet, but instead, an Oikalone shows up, which I capture and call him Cologne. I'll come back after the next badge to try again for a Charcadet. The next badge is the Lurking Steel Titan, so I run around chasing the giant earthworm. When I finally catch up with it, I take it down with 4 flame charges before it runs off again. The chase is on again as the worm leads me to its cave, where its Herba Mystica is hidden. Arpin shows up and helps me fight the Titan with his Toadstool. When its HP is low, the worm sets up a sandstorm, but it's too little too late. Winning the battle allows Sterling to evolve into a Talonflame. Inside the cave awaits the salty Herba Mystica, which when in a sandwich unlocks high jump, and my boss Div gets his voice back. Yay! Badge 8 obtained. Back into Tagtree Thicket to search for Charcadet again now that there is an outbreak. But a shiny Spitops appears. I capture and call her Meat Sticks after the Spitops that Born Losers Gaming calls theirs in their first playthrough of Scarlet. With this, it is time to take on the Water Gym. Arriving in Cascarafa, I see the gym leader Kofu rushing out of town. A tenant calls after him because he forgot his wallet and for some reason entrusts me with it. Lady, I'm just some random trainer you've never met before. Why are you giving me this task? Oh, it's gonna be a gym test? Well, better take it to Kofu so I can pass. I make my way to Porto Marinada. Before I can talk to him, the rude version of Loxin battles me, so Leona takes out his Floxel with 1 spark and his claw launcher with another. Kofu finally notices me, so I can give him his wallet. He thanks me and asks that I win him some seaweed in an auction. I bid as low as I can until the other 2 give in, and I win the seaweed for 45k Pokédollars. With this win and the seaweed handed to Kofu, I can go back to Cascarafa to battle him. And of course, because we're right next to a desert, the battle starts with a sandstorm. I start off having Leona fight the psychic fish that mobs anyone that goes into the water to bring him down into orange, and the sandstorm brings him to the red. 1 more bite finishes him off, no issue. Spark one-shots Rug Trio, and Crabominable is taken out by a single Terra boosted Fault Switch. Badge 9 obtained. New outbreak time, and I find one that is just male Pyro, which is awesome since Ditlio has a 12.5% to be male. so seeing all of these big lads running around is amazing. After knocking a lot of them out to level up my team to around level 40 and making a level 1 encounter fire sandwich, I find my shiny boy and call him Kira Kyle. After friending fellow content creator Kyle, aka the Kira Drummer. Time for the third team star base. I take in Muddy, Turlin and Meat Sticks to deal with the grunts before drawing out Atticus. Muddy gets poisoned with toxic right off the bat and takes out Stun Tank with a single bulldoze. She manages to expel the poison, so I don't worry. What a mad gal. Another bulldoze takes out Revavoom. I terrestrialize Muddy when Muck comes out and one-shots with a crit. Last but not least is the Starmobile that goes down to 2 bulldozers. Great work, Muddy. Badge 10 obtained. I start my search for a shiny Makihita fire an outbreak and have Melody knock them out so she can gain the most experience because she's close to evolving, which she does. I missed a warning that there aren't many Pokemon left in the outbreak, so I knock them all out. So I head back to Tagtree Thicket one last time to try and get shiny chocolate, and 6 minutes after arriving at an outbreak, I finally find shiny chocolate. And just like roommates, I need a shiny for my shiny living dex, so I capture her and name her Copper. My next badge is in Medeli, where I need to find the secret menu item from the Treasure Eatery. After finding all of the clues, I ordered the medium extra crispy grilled rice balls with lemon, before Larry will battle me. Melody almost knocks out Kamala with 2 Dragon Pulses before a yawn puts her to sleep. She wakes up a few turns later to finish off Kamala with a 3rd Dragon Pulse. I switch to Muddy when the Dunsparce comes out, and 2 Rock Smashes takes it out. I keep Muddy in for Staraptor. She gets off 1 Rock Smash before a Facade knocks her out. I pull a risky move of sending out Meat Sticks to use counter, and it pays off when she lives an aerial ace and knocks Staraptor out. Badge 11 obtained. After this win, Nimona asks me for a battle, which I accept. Melody takes 3 Accelerox from Lycanroc. The 3rd should have knocked her out, but she toughed it out so I wouldn't be sad. Thank you, Melody. This allows her 3rd Dragon Pulse to knock Lycanroc out. I keep Melody out on Gumi so I can heal her up with a max potion, and she uses another Dragon Pulse to knock Gumi out in 1 hit. I send out Muddy to deal with her Palmo and use Earthquake to knock him out in 1 hit. I send Melody back out to take care of Quacklevel with 3 Dragon Pulses, the 3rd being a crit. The next shiny took 5 whole days to show. I tried many different outbreaks around the mountain and nothing until Frostlass shows up. I capture and call her Noki after Nokimon because Frostlass is his favourite shiny. Time for the double battle gym in Montevera with the one and only DJRIP Rhyme. Before the gym, I need to warm up her audience with double battles, which I take care of with ease. In the battle with Rhyme, her Mimikyu knocks Copper and Lilith out with Shadow Sneaks, so I send out Goldie and Cologne. Goldie takes Mimikyu out with a Crunch, and Cologne takes Bayonet out with Dig. Rhyme sends out Houndstone and Toxicity. The latter she terrestrializes. Goldie takes Toxicity down in a single Crunch and Houndstone with 2. Badge 12 obtained. Checking out another outbreak, I find an Azumarill one, so I go to it, knock most of them out, and ride around until the yellow water rabbit shows up. I capture and name her Angel. Nice easy shiny after the hassle with Frostlass. Off to Asado Desert to take care of Iron Treads, the Quaking Earth Titan. The first stage goes down to Copper, who uses 2 lava plumes before it runs off. It doesn't go very far, so after a quick ride over, Arvin joins us with his newly captured Scorvillain, so we can take on the Titan. I terrestrialize Copper, who uses Lava Plume and Incinerate before being knocked out. Scorpion uses Fire Fang to bring the Titan to low HP. I send out Muddy, but Scorpion steals my kill with another Fire Fang. At least the job is done. Inside the cave we find the sour herb and Mystica that Arvin makes into a sandwich. Rider can now glide through the air, but my Buster doesn't seem to be getting better. Let's hope the final herb does make him better. Badge 13 obtained. Heading into Orphanada Cavern, I come across an Umbreon outbreak, so I do my normal knockouts, but they suddenly stop showing up. I thought since they are in a cave, the time of day doesn't matter. Sadly, I was wrong, so I had to wait for nightfall for the Pokemon to come back, and when they do, the shiny doesn't take long to show up. I capture and name him Umbra. On to Orphanada Gym. Before the next gym, Nimona wants another battle, so I accept. Umbra takes most of Lycanroc's HP down before I switch to Angel to try and finish them off, but she gets knocked out because of flinching from rock slides. So I send out Noki to finish Lycanroc off with a Frost Breath. Nimona then, for some reason, sends out her Sliggoo. Like, why? Can't you see I have an Ice type out? Aren't you a champion? You should know this. Anyway, Sliggoo goes down after 2 Frost Breaths. Copper comes out on her Pawmot and takes it down with 2 Bitter Blades. I make the mistake of keeping Copper in on Quacklevel, and she is taken down with an Aqua Step, so I send out Leona and use a Terra boosted Spark and Fault Switch to finish the battle. Time for the gym test, where I take part in emotional spectrum practice run by the battle studies teacher Dendra. After showing her my emotions and beating the other people taking part, it's time to take on Tulip. Her Farigarath goes down with 3 Dark Pulsers. I tried to stay on Gardevoir, but I forgot they are part Fairy, so Dark types won't be that effective, and she knows Fairy type moves. So I switch out to Leona and use Spark, but she goes down to an Energy Ball. Copper comes out and finishes her off with a Nightshade. Copper and Espethro trade Nightshades and Shadow Balls until Copper goes down. Liv comes out and takes Espethro out with Nightshade. Florges comes out and takes Liv down with a Psychic, so Angel comes out and does some damage to Florges before being knocked out herself. I tried to see what Umbra can do, but he too is knocked out. My last Pokemon, Noki, goes out and takes Florges out 2 Frost Breaths. Badge 14 obtained. Outside of Orphanada, there is an outbreak. When I go to check out what it is, I find it's Sylveon. So I knock a lot of them out before making a fairy encounter sandwich, and less than a minute later, I find a shiny. I capture and call him Jesse. Final gym time, but before I can fight Grusha, I slide down the slopes for the gym test. I get it done in under 44 seconds. Awesome. Time for the battle. Turner takes out Frostmoth with a flame charge. She gets 4 off on the Titan before 3 liquidations and an Ice Shard takes her out. The first liquidation does activate Turner's flame body that leaves the Titan burnt. I send out Kira Kyle, who finishes the Titan off with a Fire Fang. Beartic comes out and takes 2 Fire Fangs while knocking Kira Kyle out with 2 Earthquakes. Bunny comes out. She tries to use Bulldozer, but Icicle Crash flinches her and the second knocks her out. I send out Leona, who Fault Switches to finish off the Beartic and switch into Goldie as Altaria comes out, who goes down in 4 crunches, winning the battle. Badge 15 obtained. The next shiny I want is a Gardevoir, so I put up a fairy encounter sandwich and ride around the mountains hoping to find one. Thankfully, 7 minutes later, I find the little Routes, so I capture and call him Maxi. I can evolve him soon to get Gardevoir. Team Star Fairy base time, and after dealing with the grunts, Ortega comes out and knocks Lilith out with a quick Aqua Tail from Azumarill. Leona comes out and Sparks takes the rabbit down. 2 more Sparks take care of Wigglytuff. Box doesn't do much to deck spawn, so Leona Fault switches out with Muddy, who takes a bread dog down with 2 bulldozers. The Starmobile takes 8 bulldozers before Muddy goes down. Clone comes out and finishes the battle with 5 digs. Badge 16, obtained. Before looking for my next shiny, Maxie evolves into Curlier. You're almost there, Short King. I head to Bamboo Forest because of the phalanx outbreak. But while looking around for their marching little guys, a Passimian shows up. At first I didn't notice him since I was watching my friend Hootenheim on Twitch, and when I look back I see him standing there, so this guy has won the name Hooten. It's the final Titan, and this time it's 2 for 1. The first stage is with the Donzo. Jessie tries to take it out with Draining Kiss, but isn't strong enough, so Leona comes out and finishes the big fish with a few sparks before it swims away. I follow it to its cave and meet up with Arvin with his now evolved Greedent. I switch Jessie out for Leona, and Aquatel brings Leona down to below half health, so I fault switch into roommates. 2 takedowns from Greedents and a bullet seed from roommates knocks the Donzo out. But this isn't the end of the fight just yet. We still need to take on Tetsuguri, but that goes down with moonblasts and takedowns. Inside the cave we find the final herb, Spicy Herba Mystica. Arvin makes it into a sandwich, which allows Miraidon to climb cliffs. After eating his sandwich, the boss is fully healed, which makes Arvin extremely happy. Turo calls and says that he was right in entrusting me with Miraidon, but when he hears Arvin nearby, he asks him to take me to the lighthouse, where we met on Poco Path, to get into the lab, but I still have one more badge to get. Speaking of, badge 17, obtained. I head to the rocky area east of the Team Star Ferry base and make a grass encounter sandwich for a shiny Gogoat. I ride around for about 25 minutes until the shiny appears. I almost didn't notice, but when I do, I rush to capture and name him Billy. Shortly after this, Maxie evolves into a Gardevoir. Now I have all of the shinies I need to finish the game with. Time for the final badge. Once the final set of grunts are taken care of, Eerie, boss of the Team Star fighting base, comes out for our battle. Maxie takes out Toxicroak with Psychic. Roommate's up next to play Rough the Annihilate, so he can't use Rage Fist. But he does use Close Combat and knock roommates out. So Jessie finishes the ape off with Moonblast. Bassimian beats Jessie, so Maxie comes out and uses Moonblast for a one-shot. Turns 2 flame charges deal with Lucario. Time for the Starmobile. Turning uses 2 aerial aces before being knocked out. Maxie's back and needs to survive to spin out on 32 HP to win the battle with Moonblast. After this, Cassiopeia tells me that she is in fact the big boss of Team Star and wants me to meet her at school where we will battle. You're wrong, Cassiopeia. Badge 18, obtained. And now it's time to finish off these storylines. I do them in order I start them. So first up is the Elite Four. After smashing the champion assessment, I can take on Rika. Billy seed bombs her wish cast for a one-shot. Goldie one-shots Cambrot with Waterfall, and then 2 more take down Dumbfan. Billy's back out to seed bomb the trio and spams Hornleech until Clogside goes down, winning the first Elite Four battle. Next up is the youngest ever Elite Four member, Penny. Her Caparaja sets up Stealth Rocks, but goes down after 3 flame charges from Turlin. Kirikaya would have one-shot Magnusone with Flamethrower if it wasn't for Sturdy, so a second one knocks it out. Leona takes care of Bronxon with 3 bites, and Corviknight and Turlin have a bird-on-bird battle. Flame Charge does a little bit of damage, but Turlin goes down to a Brave Bird, so Kirikyle is back to throw flames at the Steel Bird. Flamethrower brings Tinkerton to below half health before he takes Kirikyle out with Stone Edge. Goldie comes out and wins the battle with Waterfall. After healing up my team, it's time to face Larry again. Can this man get a break? He has 3 jobs, crying out loud. Anyway, it's battle time. Leona takes a bite after Tropius, but it doesn't do much damage, so so she fault switches out for Turlin for a flame charge knockout. Healed Leona's back out. A spark brings Staraptor down to 1 HP, so a second one knocks him out. Maxie one-shots Otario with a Moonblast. Leona is back out once again against Hokario, who confuses with Tita Dance and brings Leona down to 5 HP with Confusion Damage and Revelation Dance before knocking her out with Air Slash. Kirikaio's Flamethrower deals with the cheerleading bird. Last but not least is Flamigo, so Maxie does great damage with Moonblast, but is taken out with a terror-boosted Brave Bird. Turner shares the same fate, but this activates his flame body, so now Flamigo is burned. The recoil damage from Brave Bird and the burn damage takes Flamigo out. One more Elite Four member to go. Before the battle with Hassel, I have Goldie relearn Ice Fang. In the battle, Goldie one-shots Noivern with Ice Fang. Goldie then lives a super effective Thunderbolt to one-shot Dragalge with Ice Fang. Because she's only at 30 HP, I swap Goldie out for Max D when Haxorus comes out, but he goes down to an Iron Head and Crunch. Turnin's out so I can revive Maxie. This means Turnin goes down to a single Rock Tomb. I take a risk and send out Goldie, who lives on 1 HP, after another Rock Tomb so I wouldn't be sad. I used a max potion on him so he can take Haxorus down with Ice Fang. Frapple two-shots Goldie with Dragon Rust, so a now fully healed Maxie can one-shot Frapple with Moonblast. Hassel's final Pokemon is the Baxcalibur, who goes down to a single Moonblast. After the battle, Rika does me a solid and heals my team. Time for the champion. Espethra takes Leona out with 2 Lumina Crashes after being brought down to the red. Goldie's out to finish her with Crunch. 3 Incinerates from Kirikaio takes King Gambit out, and the 4th takes care of Avalog. Veluza comes out, so Goldie is back to 2-shot with Crunch. While Greta's own Go-Goat is out, I use this time to fully heal Goldie, while Maxie brings the goat's HP down to red before going down to Hornleech. Kirikaio is back out to burn Goat up. Greta then sends out her final Pokemon, which should have been her first, Glimora, so Goldie takes it out with 2 waterfalls, the second being Terra boosted. I am now the new champion of Paldea. Now that I am champion, Nimona wants one last final battle with me, but this time as true rivals. I accept her challenge and we head to Mesagoza. Goldie bodies a Stone Edge from Lycanroc, who goes down to a single waterfall. I test out Meat Sticks on Pawmot, but her Brick Break doesn't do much, so she goes down to a Double Shock and Quick Attack. Billy is out to bring Pawmot to the red with 2 Bulldozers before being taken out with close combat. I finally play it smart and send out Maxie to Moonblast this electric hamster out of the battle. Orthworm is out, so Kirikaio incinerates the worm. Gudra is next, so Maxie is back out for a Moonblast, but goes down to Sludge Bomb. No worries, Goldie can Ice Fang this dragon. Leona comes out against the Dunsparce, so I can revive Meat Sticks. To safely get her back in, Leona Volt switches out. The max potion my bug so she can Brick Break, but it doesn't do much, so she goes down to a Hyper Drill. Leona and the Dunsparce trade attacks before she is taken out with a Dragon Rush. Kirikaio is back out to bring the snake into the red before being knocked out, so Goldie finishes him off with Ice Fang. Billy uses Leaf Blade to bring Quackleval down to the red. His Ice Spinner drops Billy down to 57 HP. To ensure Billy isn't knocked out, I drop a max potion to heal him up. However, a second Ice Spinner brings Billy to 41 HP. I risk another Leaf Blade that pays off when Billy lives on 1 HP, so I wouldn't be sad. Thank you, Billy. Now let's finish this battle. With Nimona defeated, Victory Road is completed. Time to meet up with Arvin at the lighthouse. We enter the lab and speak with Professor Toro. He asked us to bring the violet book that Arvin has been carrying around to Area 0. He warns that we should bring more people with us. Outside, Arvin wants to make sure we are ready to head down to Area 0 with a battle. Hooten knocks Greedent out with a single close combat. Turin takes care of Skullvillain with 2 aerial aces. Gonekla is next, so Goldie uses 2 waterfalls to take him out after he sets up stealth rocks. Turin survives stealth rocks and a sludge bomb on 1 HP against Toadscruel, who goes down to 2 aerial aces to the face. I assume a single fault switch could take out Cloyster, but he lives, so Hooten is out to smash some rocks in his face. Mastiff is out and knocks Maxie out with a Terra Boost's crunch, so Billy tries to Horn Leech, which doesn't do much, so he goes down to another crunch. An Ice Fang from Goldie doesn't do much either, so he goes down after 2 crunches. I finally play it smart and bring Hooten back out, who finishes the battle with close combat. Afterwards, Arvin questions who we should take with us into Area 0 and says it should be a champion rank trainer or a tech quiz, so I suggest Penny. Arvin says we need to get on her good side before she can help before running off, and with that, Path of Legends is complete. Back at school, I am greeted by Dr. Cavell, who finally drops his Clive character and tries to tell me that he is really Cassiopeia, and that we should battle so he can test me. You're on, old man. Orangaru goes down after 2 crunches from Leona. For some reason, Clavell sends Gyarados out. Like, come on, old man, you know Gyarados is 4 times weak to electric, right? Gyarados tries to take Leona out with Earthquake, but she lives on 1 HP, and a single fault switch takes him out. Poltergeist comes out, so Goldie sends it back with a 1-shot crunch. Kirikyle causes a small forest fire when he incinerates a bomb of snow. Amoonguss lives and incinerate, and puts Kirikyle to sleep with Spore, and Giga Drains to heal up before my line wakes up. He takes care of the mushroom with 2 more incinerates. Goldie's back out against Skeledirge, who goes down to 2 Terra boosted waterfalls. After the battle, Clavell tells the truth that he wanted to test me to see if I was strong enough to take on the real Cassiopeia. It looks like I am, old man. I head to the schoolyard to find out that Cassiopeia is really Penny. Before we battle, Clavell shows up dressed as Clive again, and is asked by Penny to record our battle. Hooten takes Umbreon out with close combat. 2 waterfalls from Goldie takes care of Flareon. 3 bulldozers from Billy, and Jolteon goes down. Against Leafeon, Turning uses Flame Charge and Aerial Ace. Billy's back out and uses 2 Leaf Blades on Vaporeon. To finish off the battle, I send out Maxie to see how strong his Psychic is on Sylveon. 3 would have taken her out, but a quick attack takes care of Maxie when he is low HP. So Turning comes out to finish the battle with 2 Aerial Aces. After the battle, Penny finally gets to meet her friends and fellow Team Star members in person, and they share a sweet moment together. Starfall Street complete. Now that all the storylines are complete, Arvin calls me that he's found 2 people to come to Area 0 with us, and that we should all meet at the 0 gate. Before heading there, I pick my team I want to go with and get them up to high 60s. The final team is Muddy the Mudstale, Leona the Luxray, Maxie the Gardevoir, Hooten the Passimian, Billy the Go-Goat, and the Pokemon we started with, Turlin the Talonflame. Let's do this. In the 0 gate, I meet up with Arvin. Inside we find Nimona and Penny before Professor Turo calls and asks us to make our way into Area 0. Down there, Turo tells us that we need to disable 4 locks located in research centres in order to open up 0 Lab. With all 4 unlocked, we head down to the 0 Lab. After opening the door, a second Miraidon shows up, yells at mine and enters the lab. Afterwards, Paradox Pokemon come out the lab to fight us. The first Paradox Pokemon is Iron Treads that Nimona helps out with. A drill run from Lycanroc brings Iron Treads to half HP, who uses Stomping Tantrum to take the wolf out. Muddy finishes the Cyber Elephant off with Superpower. Next up is Iron Hands with Penny. Muddy and Umbreon take it down with Superpower and Psychic. After this battle, Miraidon roars and scares most of the Paradox Pokemon away, so Nimona and Penny rush off to take care of them. Arvin stays with me so we can take on Iron Jugulis. The boss brings it down to half health with Play Rough, and Muddy finishes the dragon off with Heavy Slam. After the battle, Arvin tells me to head inside the lab while he deals with the rest of the Paradox Pokemon. Inside the lab, I find Professor Turo, who is acting a little odd, then admits that he is in fact an AI, created by the real Turo, who passed away a few years ago. AI Turo then asks that I help him close down the time machine down below. At the time machine, AI Turo tells me to place the violet book on the pedestal, but in doing so, cause him to battle me because of his code. It's time to take on AI Turo. Muddy uses Earthquake to deal with Iron Moth. Leona is out on Iron Bundle, who goes down to a discharge. Iron Thorns falls after 2 bulldozers from Billy. Max's Moonblast makes quick work of Iron Jugulis. Iron Hands takes a close combat to the face, but knocks Hooten out with a Drain Punch. Max is back out to bring Iron Hands to the red, but an Iron Head takes him out. So Muddy comes out to finish Iron Hands with an Earthquake. AI Turo's final Pokemon, Iron Valiant, comes out and goes down to 3 Steel Wings after Turner's knocked out, but is brought back since I want her to be the Pokemon to finish this fight. With the battle won, my friends run in, but the time machine starts up again and the Paradise Protection Protocol is activated, which locks all of our Pokeballs but Turo's, so none of us can use our Pokemon. AI Turo begs for us to run before he is disabled, and the Paradise Protection Protocol takes over, and the new battle starts where the protocol sends out Miraidon. Because my Pokeballs are locked, I can't send in any of my Pokemon, but there is one Pokeball I have that I can still use, the Miraidon that has been with me from the start of my journey, who has finally unlocked its battle mode. After a few turns of using Power Gem, my Miraidon can finally terrestrialize and uses Terra Blast to win the fight. Realizing that he is the one keeping the time machine running, AI Turo informs us that he will be going into the future to stop it and bids adieu. Now that the time machine is shut down for good, we can finally go home, and the way home is complete. And that's the end of my first shiny badge quest. Thank you so much for watching this video. It's been so much fun to make, and I don't know about you, but I'm looking forward to making more videos like this. I already have 2 more challenges planned, but if you have any others you'd like to see, let me know in the comments below, and if you did enjoy this video, give it a like and subscribe for future videos. Also, be sure to check out my main channel where I livestream shiny hunts. Link in the description. See you all next time. Ciao.